Joining me today on The Middle is New York Times bestselling author of I Like You Just the Way I Am and Live Fast, Die Hot, actress, model for Alice and Olivia's first casual collection, and all-around hilarious woman you are, Jenny Mollen. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. I really just thought that this was sound. I really would have tried to pull myself together like slightly more than this if I knew I was being recorded, but I think this works with like, I'm very on brand for myself right now.
You're very on brand. No, I love it. And honestly,
just like
my first
train wreck.
No, you look great all the time. And that's my first question. How are you aging in reverse? And who is your dermatologist?
My dermatologist is Pat Wexler. She's amazing. Okay. She's like fucking the Wizard of Oz. I think like when I was in my mid to late 30s, I started to panic. And a lot of my girlfriends are coming to me right now. They're like 36-ish and saying like, I need a facelift. I need strings. I need to pull up my jowls. I need to fill this. And I said, whatever you do, like don't buy into that, because I did all that shit in my like late 30s and ended up dissolving all of the filler. Really? I mean, I didn't do like the threads. They weren't like
the
around
thread
then,
freaks me out.
The threads, I don't know, I'm scared, but all the filler and stuff. And I went to Pat and she's just like, what are you doing? Like, this is making you're not looking younger. You just look weird. So she literally like dissolved everything that I had in my face and sort of started from scratch. And now, I don't know, I'm 41 and I kind of feel like not less is more, because like I'm down to try fucking anything, but like I want to be careful about what I choose.
No, that's
to do, because I just don't think you need that much. Especially like girls in their 30s. Like my advice to women in their 30s is just like wait till you hit 40. Like maybe do some Botox, but don't start filling shit. It's not worth it.
Don't go crazy. Got it.
No.
Okay. So you just finished the next book that's coming out, right? Can you say anything about it?
So like it went out to editors. I mean, it went out yesterday, which is crazy. And I can tell you that it's about social media and like social media moms and influencers. And I compare it to like sort of like Heather's for downtown, like lower Manhattan Instagram moms, but it's a little, I mean, it's dark.
Okay.
Yes, but it's like a darker Devil Wears Prada type of, but like sexy. There's like a sort of like a lesbian love triangle. It's like, it's fun. It's really fun. It's very juicy.
And when is that projected to come out?
I don't know. I mean, I'm literally waiting to hear back. I don't even know which house I'm going with.
Okay.
It's
well, in the meantime,
new.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And I know anyone who has read your previous books feels the same way I do. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for the new book, let's talk a little bit about Live Fast, Die Hot. I just re-listened to it. And I love, if people are Audible people, it's you doing the narration and Jason's on it. It's so fun to listen to. And I really appreciate it because I'm not a mom yet, but I feel like this is the most relatable version of motherhood that I could like wrap my head around, and it didn't make me feel scared. So thank you.
Oh my God, I'm so glad to hear that. That's awesome. Yeah, writing it, I was definitely like in the postpartum haze of just having a first child. So I tried to just be as like, candid as possible about what I was dealing with it, and sort of just my reluctancy to sort of, be the hero of my own story and sort of go on that journey. So yeah, but it's so bizarre because I think I wrote it so close to having my first son. I didn't have a lot of perspective. It was just really just raw, like this is what I'm going through. But now I look back, I mean, there's crazy things in there. Like people always send me this one thing that I guess I wrote. I was like, only if I were to have a second child or develop a crazy thyroid condition. And both happened.
Oh my God.
I got like a crazy thyroid. I was like, wait, it's like a prophecy. Now I have to be careful about what put on paper.
Out. Right. You're manifesting things. No, that is a little bit scary. You also mentioned John Casablancas in the book.
Yes.
What is your relationship? Did you go through John Casablancas? Because
No, but I always thought it was funny. Did you?
My mom made me and my sister both go as like she called it finishing school. which is like so ridiculous.
Hilarious.
To like help us learn how to
funny.
do our makeup, and like neither of us are models. Like it cracked me up when I heard you say it. I was like, oh my God, I have to ask.
I just remember all the ads, you know, like I lived in Arizona, and that I feel like John Casablanca really preyed on little girls from cities that weren't New York or LA, where they could like find out that he was just like a total sham.
Right. No, and they like prayed in the mall. They'd be like lurking around the mall with a clipboard and be like, oh, your daughter.
Totally.
So
no,
so
I'm
creepy.
Still like slightly jaded that I was like never discovered at the mall. I was like, why did no one ever approach? What was wrong with me? Was I not good enough for you?
I mean, I'm still waiting to get discovered. Like every day I go outside, I'm like, maybe like today is the day.
Today's the day. I know. I'm going to be in Schwab's drugstore and finally someone will realize I have talent.
You never know. Okay, so I always, in these episodes, I always talk about adaptations, whether or not they happened or they're coming up. But since you've already gone down the adaptation road with the first book, I'm curious, like let's fast forward like 20 years. Someone is doing a movie about your whole life story up until that point, and you can't play yourself. Who would you want to play you?
Like an Isla Fisher, you know, somebody who's like funny and like goofy and sort of doesn't, I need somebody who like gets into shenanigans. Like for me, my life is about like finding the caper and like going down that rabbit hole. It's like, I will chase a story like you don't even understand. I mean, I will just chase I can't like let go of a good story. So I need an Isla Fisher or like one of the, maybe an, you know, whoever the new version of that is, like somebody who just like revels in sort of the like, you know, I don't know. The mischief of it all. Exactly. Exactly.
That's fun. And who would you want to play Jason?
Oh, just like whatever like neurotic Jew happens to be available. Nice. Jewish, but like it definitely needs to be like a neurotic Jew playing Jason.
Now, would you think about adapting the new book or like going down that road again?
Yeah, the new book is like definitely, I mean, like a movie or a show. I mean, I wrote it with that in mind. Having gone through that process after like, you know, I adapted the second book for Warner Brothers and Anne Hathaway was attached to play me, which like maybe like wasn't the best you know, fit, especially like when like I'll never forget like one of our first meetings, she was like sitting there nursing her first child. She's like, yeah, you know, I just love being a mother. And I was like, yeah, well, the first line of this book starts off like, how pregnant do I have to be before I can have an abortion? So
right.
Like we just like, I think I don't know, like we are just different people. And as much as like I wanted that to work out, it was hard. I mean, it wasn't her fault. I honestly like blame like my managers because they just like handled the whole thing wrong.
Why weren't you going to play yourself in that one? Was it just like a timing
Because
thing?
she was like, you know, she was like a movie star and she came to me and was like, I want to do your book. I want to be attached. And at the time I thought, okay, I'm going to flip this and sell it as a pilot because I come from that world and I know how to like do that. And I'd done that with the first book. So I kind of knew just like, you know, I already had my producer and whatever. But when Anne came to us and said, you know, I see this as a movie, I was like, okay, I'm up for the challenge. And she was a get for us. So we're like, let's attach Anne and then chop it. And Warner Brothers bought it. And so then I wrote it for Warner's. But, you know, like at the end of the day, was it the right place for the book? You know, you go back in your head, even now, like the first book went to ABC and I'm like, you know, when my pilot is about like hiring a hooker, ABC doesn't make, you know, so a lot of it comes down to just like strategy and picking the right home for it, which is so crazy. And I think it's easier now because there are so many other avenues and digital options and people are open to like more risque stuff. But like a place like Warner Brothers, for instance, you know, where they want to make Batman and I'm trying to sell them like, you know, Postpartum from the Edge. I mean, it just doesn't quite work, but it was a fun experience and it taught me it set me up to be able to like write a novel. I think like writing a movie, that 3-act structure, having to adapt a collection of essays, which like, I mean, that was the other problem I was up against. It was like, at the end of the day, that script is nothing like the book, because I couldn't take this collection of essays and actually make it, a 3-act movie.
Right.
So, so that ended up becoming sort of like, what I wrote for them was like, almost like What About Bob? But like as if my mom moved in with me and like I forced her to move in with me to give me the childhood I never had. So like it was fun, but not exactly a Warner Brothers movie. But now this new book, having had all of these experiences, I knew I was like, I have to write a movie from the beginning so that I don't get into this problem later on.
Well, I truly believe that everything like sets us all up for the next
100%.
thing. So
totally.
I'm so excited to see what's next for you. And I'm so happy that you're always on Instagram posting everything, because you're so funny, and anyone who doesn't follow you needs to, because it's just like,
that's so nice.
Such great entertainment. So love it. Thank you for being you.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
And also we have to thank the Shortbread Society for bringing us together, right?
Is this how this happened? Is this how we connected?
I think so, because I did the segment for New York Live on Shortbread Society, which we found from you guys posting about them. And then we put the clips of you guys in the segment. I think that's how like our following each other started.
Oh my God, how funny. That Shortbread's insane, isn't it?
It's so good. Like, it's a problem. Every time they post, I'm like, I need to like block them.
I made them make me a Rice Krispie version. Oh my God, it was insane.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for doing this. And
I love this. I love that you do this.